Did you write that about me? That I
Of course,
continue to bring depth? Did you
uh,
write that?
of course I
I'm like,
did.
I need a new PR person. Don't say that. I shouldn't have said that out loud. They're gonna hear that. But
You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals.
Joining us in the room now is the incredible Lisa Arrindell, known for her work in Medea's Family Reunion and Saints and Sinners, and now starring in The Secret Between Us, an actress whose performances continue to bring depth, truth, and emotional resonance to stories about family, love, and healing. Lisa Arrindell, welcome to the room.
hello, Keith. How are you?
Keith is doing fantastic. Thank you very much. And I
Did
hope
you
Lisa
write
is too.
that? Did you write that about me? That I
Of course,
continue to bring depth? Did you
uh,
write that?
of course I
I'm like,
did.
I need a new PR person. Don't say that. I shouldn't have said that out loud. They're gonna hear that. But thank you.
You're very, very welcome. You're welcome. So as I said, your career has consistently reflected emotionally grounded storytelling. So what draws you to roles that explore the complexities of family and relationships?
I love Black people.
Mm.
Can I say that?
It's
We
Black in the Green
are,
Room.
we are amazing. And what I find I am left wanting so much of often is, oh, can the camera linger longer
Mm.
on his thought when I see African Americans on screen? Can I behold her words that she's not saying? Because I'm thinking them. I just heard what he said. Now, can I just have a moment without lots of music in the background, like we're watching a music video? Can I just see the humanity of these two people on screen? And so I get
Mm.
very interested and I guess moved when on the page I can see the writer has a heart to reflect our humanity.
Hmm.
And I just don't, I feel like we are so expansive and we probably have explored maybe 35% of our
Hmm.
humanity over the span of time since Oscar Michaud started making films with us in it.
Right.
And I feel like I want to see more. So this film, A Secret Between Us, The Secret Between Us, that Tamara Hill wrote and directed, was very exciting to me as I looked on the page because while there is very common conflict in the story, right? I would say that we're very familiar with this story. Certainly privately, many of us have this kind of story in our own lives. That she didn't do what is typical for an African American woman's response to
Mm.
to I don't know, can I give away some of the stuff? I feel like don't give it away, Lisa. But
Just, just a
but
little bit.
but the secret is revealed to the wife, and we're not all of a sudden plunged into reality television where I
Mm.
become, um a housewife of um uh Texas. Just let me just
Mhm.
name one that doesn't exist that I know about.
Right, right, right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So then why is it important that we have those types of stories today to show those complexities in within Black relationships and the different ways that Black people handle them?
Hmm. What a good question. The what is called the entertainment industry traditionally is so, and I say traditionally because I don't think that we only entertain. I
Hmm.
think that we educate, I think that we actually have the power to create. We have the influence to reframe what is actually happening in culture, in the world, on the streets, in the homes. The entertainment industry is so powerful and influential
Hmm.
that if we don't tell stories where we get to see more of the fullness of who we are as humans, we will continue to be surprised that there is another way to handle conflict. There is another way through pain. There is
Hmm.
an there are more possibilities than the one or the two that are often offered to us.
Yes.
And I personally believe, I mean, as a teacher, right? I teach theater. I believe we as artists are responsible for reflecting and encouraging and engendering humanity towards freedom.
Mm.
And part of freedom is options, choices, more choices. And so
Hmm.
often as African Americans, we are offered one or two options. It's this or that.
That's
When,
right.
quite frankly, right, God is much bigger than this or that, much larger than this or that.
Yeah, that's so true. You've portrayed so many strong women. What has playing those women taught you about resilience in your own life?
Mm, gee, Keith, you be asking the good question. I'm like, oh, I thought I was deep, but I'm like, oh, okay. Um, I th- I think for me, the women that I play, if they teach me anything about resilience, it it has to be tell the truth,
Mm.
right? Because in film, we don't only put it away
Hmm.
and deal with it and put our chin up and continue about our business, right? I
Right.
don't get the punch in the gut and then in my as we do in life, then cook the dinner, get the children's clothes ready, make sure that the homework is done, get my work done, and just keep it rolling and show up for my husband, my partner, whatever it is, right? That's what happens often in life. But in film, with an hour and a half to 3 hours max, we actually have to explore how to move forward. And forward includes language,
Mm.
languaging the pain. And languaging the pain is a part of freedom. Languaging the pain is a part of how do I keep going? How do I keep going and evolving? I I I,
Hmm.
I feel like without language, I become stagnant. Without language, the pain is allowed to dominate my life. And I think that that happens a lot in life, but on screen, there are more opportunities to see, oh, how will she language the pain? So, in any of the characters that I've played, I've been blessed with how can I tell the truth? Even in the one character I remember playing who had no lines because she couldn't talk, she still found a way physiologically to tell the
Hmm.
truth. This was in Law and Order SVU many years ago. But that to language the truth is a part of genuine resilience. I believe.
Hmm. what do you we've talked about resilience, and we have talked about forgiveness, and we have talked about the portrayal of Black people. So what do you hope that audiences, what do they pull from the secret between us that will maybe help them in their own lives,
I
especially Black audiences?
I play Wanda, who is married to Jack. The two of them have not only a beautiful daughter who is successful, who is, they have finished raising her. Both of them are in a season of their lives where they are exploring what is the next season going to be for us together,
Mm,
which for me, in and of itself, is quite thrilling to watch a Black couple do on screen, right? That there's not a discussion of retirement. I mean, it's
mm,
there, the word exists there, but it's not the traditional retirement that we often imagine, right? You have two very um, uh, virile adult people who are deeply in love with each other.
mm,
And when this painful revelation occurs, it is not enough to say, oh, you've crossed a boundary, you must be destroyed.
mm,
You've crossed a boundary, you have destroyed our 28 years of work. It instead, it's you've crossed a boundary. I am deeply hurt. Oh, oh, as Wanda, do I have to recognize that you have been hurt as well?
mm,
Oh, as my husband, even though you are the perpetrator of the pain, oh, oh my, you had pain also. How can we both speak the truth and not only preserve the work that we've already invested, how can we continue to cause the investment to grow? I think that that's more exciting than, oh, well, you failed, it's dead,
mm, mhm.
right? I feel like there's more because um, so I am a Jesus follower,
Mhm.
and if the words to me were, "Oh, Lisa, you failed, you're dead," I, there's so much I would have missed out on. But the
Absolutely.
words for me are the words for me for all people, right? Oh, you failed. How can we tell the truth and move forward together?
Absolutely. Lisa Arrindell, thank you so much for your time. Where can everybody find you on social media and keep up with
Oh,
everything that you're doing?
Keith, please find me. I hope you find me as well.
Yes, thank
But
you.
your audience can find me on Instagram at Lisa Arrindell, just my name, really simple, Lisa Arrindell. That's my handle at Lisa Arrindell. And you can find me on Facebook as well. So while I have a presence there, I will be honest with your audience. I'm not the person that is responding on Facebook, but all my Instagram stuff goes right to Facebook simultaneously. Find me there. And you can also find my website through Instagram. Um, yeah, I I'm so happy for y'all to go and see The Secret Between Us, which is exclusively at AMC theaters. It just opened this past weekend. It just opened this past weekend. Please come out and support us and also enrich your life with this story.
Mm. Lisa Arrindell again. Thank you for joining me on Black in the Green Room.
Thank you, Keith.
Joining us in the room today is the dynamic Michael Jai White, known for Spawn and Black Dynamite Night, and now starring in The Secret Between Us, an actor, director, producer, and martial artist, bringing both strength and soul to every role he takes on. Michael Jai White, welcome to the room.
Well, thank you for having me. Good to see you again, Keith.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, man. So, let's talk about martial arts for a bit. What has that discipline? What has it meant to you, not only in your life, but also in your career?
Well, it's been basically the nucleus of everything I do. It's all about discipline. And that's just the nucleus for success. And so with martial arts, it really teaches you to overcome obstacles, and the biggest obstacle is yourself.
Hmm.
So it's about, focusing in sometimes on the stuff that you don't want to do, but you gain a great deal from those things, and that's just such a valuable teaching tool, and something such a valuable tool to have in life.
Yeah, yeah, I most definitely agree. Are you that disciplined across all aspects of your life outside of martial arts?
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. And it becomes something to where, I mean, it's so self-serving, you
Hmm.
know. A lot of times, it's I feel like a lot of people sabotage themselves.
Hmm.
If there's something within you that feels like you're not worthy of certain things, I think you will find ways to kind of sabotage yourself, right? Um, and I feel like that's a pervasive thing with a lot of folks. Uh, and it's no longer feels like discipline. It just feels like, I don't know, just the right thing to do. If I'm not doing those things, then I feel kind of off.
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, no, I definitely understand what you're saying. I mean, you get, used to a routine or things being a certain way, and when they're not, or when you're not doing what you would normally be doing, you feel off then.
yeah. I just feel like the getting the feeling of completion, making that addictive. That's what it's kind of about. Getting things done and really feeling like you deserve the spoils in life, you know?
Hmm.
So like a lot of times I want to eat something, but I want to train to earn it, you know?
Right, right,
I
right.
train really hard. I then enjoy that meal even more.
Yeah.
So because when you got a self-conscious, active self-conscious, you feel like you could have done done more, right? So if I want to eat that cheat meal and I didn't do anything to deserve it, I'm not going to enjoy it.
Exactly. Are you going to enjoy it while you're eating it, but then
Yeah,
afterwards you feel
yeah.
guilty?
Well, I won't even enjoy it while I'm there. So it's like, yeah, so it becomes part of your system. And if I'm not training, I feel like I'm reneging on the deal.
Hmm.
The deal is that I remember when I struggled, right? And I wanted to have these kind of problems. I had
Mm.
to work out, I had to work a 9 to 5 and work out and compete with people who didn't have to do that. And now that it's part of my job, I'm like, I got no excuse.
Hmm.
So actually working out, keeping fit is it's so self-serving. I feel great. Like it's like people say, "Oh, it's discipline to eat the way I do," and it's like, no, it's not. It just if I eat the bad stuff, it feels bad.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not only psychologically, but physiologically as well.
Yes. So let's get into the secret between us. Your character is forced to confront some very difficult truths. How do you personally deal with moments that require that level of self-reflection?
Well, I dig into my past, and my past is really connected to a lot of things that this movie was about, which is why it resonated with me so well.
Yeah.
I think I say 90% of people I know have come in contact with siblings they didn't know about, or if they didn't directly, somewhere in the family and cousins or what have you, there's been siblings or people who found out that they had either a sibling or their mother or fathers had a sibling that they didn't know about.
Hmm.
But it's interesting that there had never been a movie that really covered it,
Yes.
was so pervasive. So yeah, this material really spoke to me, and and I think it was really interesting, and just the stories and where you think you know where it's going, you don't.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. You've here, especially in recent years, we've seen action, Mike, but still in your films, especially in the ones that you produce, that there's still some levels of being able to, do drama or comedy within those films. But how does it feel to come to this project that is so dramatic now?
Well, I've always been involved in dramas. In fact, that's really where my acting start came from. I mean,
Hmm.
when you think about the Mike Tyson story, even though there's action in it, it's really a drama.
Right.
So that's the thing that really put me on the map. And then there was a lot of movies I've been doing, like Captive Heart. There's so many different type of films. But when you do martial arts, it tends to take over the conversation a little bit because it's so unusual. I liken it to Gregory Hines as an actor, but he also is a was a tap dancer.
Right.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that the two don't usually meet. So, but in my life now, I've made them I've joined them together. But I was an actor separate from martial arts, which is what put me on. I was doing theater in New York long before I was known in any movie or TV sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, you're a really nice guy and a very considerate guy amongst, the tough characters that we see you portray. What does strength as a man, what does it mean to you today?
Well, I think every tough guy is a sensitive guy.
Hmm.
Why be tough?
That's right.
Why are you going to build armor for something that you're not protecting? I think when you look at the average tough guy, I mean, think about the fighters. Their hearts are on their sleeves. Think about,
Hmm.
Mike Tyson, how emotional of a person he is. But
Right.
when you're that sensitive growing up in a harsh neighborhood, you become the safe. You have to build. You put your fragile things in a safe, a 4-inch thick safe, and that's what all the tough guys really become. But you know that these tough guys, me being one of them, will lay their life on the line for people they love more
Hmm.
than anyone else. So it's
Yes.
really rough, or is that just ultra sensitivity? And so those two go hand in hand. And I'm no different. I probably was the most volatile person growing up that I knew,
Mm.
and I had a really bad temper, and thus the martial arts kind of made me remedy that. I
Hmm.
I needed it. It was literally a lifesaver. But but it's two sides of the same coin. I didn't know I was an artist underneath. I didn't know where all the rage was coming from. It's
Hmm.
because I felt things more sensitive than most people.
Yeah.
So that's really that weird conundrum that just goes together.
Yeah. Playing Jack in the Secret Between Us, do you find that he has to balance, that strong man along with that sensitivity?
Yeah, Jack he's somebody who, like a lot of us, you think you got it all figured out, and then adversity rears its head and it tests you. It tests who
Hmm.
you really are, because there's a certain point where Jack doesn't know what to do. He's a guy who seemed to have always known what to do, but he flees.
Right.
He chickens out. It's like, what did I do? And that's what's interesting about life, that vulnerability. And when you convince yourself that you're one thing, and then life kind of makes you face yourself.
Hmm.
And there goes another obstacle, which is yourself and getting over yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you've mentioned transformation and evolution, a few times in our conversation so far. So what is personal evolution? What does it mean to you at this stage in your life?
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. And one of the things as a husband and father, more so a father, you want your children to do better than you. You want them more healthy than you, and the best way to do that is be an example. Because I don't
Hmm.
care what you tell your children, they're going to follow an example. They do what they see you do.
Right.
So because they're so much more important than I am, it's they provide the stimulus for me to do to dig deep and do the things I'm supposed to do because that'll cause them to do that, and it's actually worked that way, and so that's one of the things that I know my wife and I are very proud of that we are raising some really powerful, strong, intelligent children, and
Mm.
they're doing that because it's the little things that they see us do and having to push through when we don't want to and do things just because it's right. And so therefore they start doing that same thing and they get much better than us.
Yeah. I know you have daughters as well.
Hmm.
So what do you want women? What do you want women to learn about men from this story?
Well, that yeah, the evolution of males of our manhood may look different now than it did before.
Hmm.
I want the daughters, the women, and the men to understand. Well, it's not just about punching a clock and throwing a baseball every now and then.
Hmm.
Evolution of the man, the husband, the father, sometimes requires understanding that our daughters, our children are growing up in a different age. We
Mm.
have to be there for them emotionally, psychologically, all of that. Uh, our rightful place as the provider of security requires that. Okay.
Hmm.
We have to step up. We have to evolve so we can be in our rightful position as the shepherds, you know?
Hmm.
A lot of times guys don't want to face the sensitivity stuff and all of that. No, no, no. That's what's required. Yeah,
Hmm.
the requirements from our grandfather's days, let's throw those away.
Hmm.
We have to step up and evolve, and it's time to stop thinking about what was good for like the 70s,
Right, right, right.
No, manhood requires you step up. All right.
That's right.
You step up nowadays. So that's one thing I think people need to understand. Um, and so yeah, it looks different. It's not comfortable.
Hmm.
So get that through your head. Change is not supposed to be comfortable, but it's necessary for us to thrive as leaders. We have to learn how to lead. It's like learning the new math. We don't
Right.
want to do that, but we got to. If we want to be the fathers that we want to be, we got to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. The film also deals with themes of forgiveness.
Mhm.
What have you learned about forgiveness from the film, or what has the film reinforced what you already know about forgiveness?
Well, I did a Western, and the entire Western was all about forgiveness. And
Hmm.
one quote that I have from that is forgiveness suits the forgiver.
Mm.
When you're holding on to some kind of trauma, it's like holding on to hot coals. It ain't burning nothing but you.
That's right.
Yeah. So learning forgiveness, learning first empathy,
Yeah.
understand where the other person is coming from, to understand that vulnerability is power. It's not
Hmm.
weakness. It's actually power.
That's right.
For a grown man, if a strong man to say, "Look, I don't know," and I'm going to try to do what I can to be better.
Hmm.
That's nothing but powerful.
Yeah.
So guess what? That's short because when you learn those lessons, you now are free to not make those same mistakes. Now you're stepping into power, but
Hmm.
no power is gotten just it's not handed to you. You got to go through something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it's all about to me, and I think that's what this movie lends to and tries to convey.
Hmm. When it comes to representation, how intentional are you about portraying Black men who have depth, vulnerability, and complexity? How important is that to you?
It is very important. It is like it or not, I am in that position.
Hmm.
You know, I am in that position. People listen. Uh, I owe it to the people who put me where I am.
Hmm.
It means a lot to me. I could be at a Golden Corral, which I don't give a darn. I still go to Golden Corral.
I'm not mad at you, man.
And it could be
Got to keep that protein count up.
man. I like and I like to be around the folks too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like to change my life up.
Right.
So if I could be in a Golden Corral and uh, somebody who's a husband and father is sitting there with his children, it comes over to me and says, "You know what? Me and my son, we watch your movies,
Mm.
and thanks for doing us proud." Now, there ain't a damn Academy Award that will fulfill me the way that does. I
Hmm.
mean, that means a great deal to me. People like Jim Brown and Fred Williamson changed my life just through the media. Just watching a powerful person, a strong Black man, as a young kid, I looked at him, I looked at Robert Hooks, and I said, man, I want to be like that. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? I want to be like that. Right now, I'm in a position where I'm, doing that for other people. That's a responsibility.
Hmm.
That's a serious responsibility. So I don't act a fool out there.
That's right.
I don't care. It's bigger than just me. It's no way I'm letting those damn people down. Those people put me in my damn house, as far as I'm
Hmm.
concerned. And I owe a lot to them. And I'm not going to compromise not one value that I have because I've been put here and those people put me here.
Yeah.
That's my audience.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, with Jack, how what when you were reading the script or when you were going through the process of shooting the film, what made you the most upset about him and what made you the most empathetic towards him?
Oh, I was never upset about anything. I just loved the script.
Hmm.
And I put a lot of my own stuff in it as well. Uh, you know, I can't be upset when I see such a teaching tool like this.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it just really resonated with me, and I said, "Well, this has to be done." And we assembled a group and got it done. Like, I hesitate to tell you how fast we shot this movie, but we
Right.
got it. We
Oh,
shot
oh, let me know how long.
10 days.
Wow, that's amazing.
10 days. We got it moving. Had uh, a break in my schedule. Got folks together. Reached out to Lisa Arrindell, who's one of my favorite actresses of all time, and
Mhm.
probably like she's from this movie. She's even more my favorite. She says a whole paragraph in a look. I
Mm.
invite people to see what I've seen all these years. The poetry and majesty in what she does is just unparalleled to me. So yeah, I got and luckily she was available and we were able to put something down that a lot of people are feeling and I'm happy that we're keeping it in the theaters. We're not doing
Hmm.
it. We're keeping it. This is a community thing.
Yes.
What it is. We are drawing a line. No, you want to see this, you're going to see it as a community. We're going to get the people together to see that. Get your friends, get your family, go see that. You're not going to be disappointed. Not one person has, but you should bring your Kleenex with you.
Right.
We'll warn you about that. So you're going to experience something going through this, and that's what that's why Keith Sweat jumped on as an executive producer. Keith saw this movie. He says, "Man, I've seen this movie 3 times, and I cried just as much every time, and I
Wow.
know what's coming." You know?
Right, right, right.
Yeah. And he's like, "Man, and he's the one. He says, "Nah, we're doing this in theaters." And he put his money where his mouth is. So he's like, "Nah, man, this ain't going to streaming. This is going to."
Right.
Yeah. So thank God for that. But he and a lot of other people feel like this is something to see with your loved ones.
Love that, Mike. Mike, where can everybody keep up with everything you've got going on, everything you've got coming up on socials and websites?
Yeah, well, yeah. My website is, I guess, michaeljwhite.com, and then there's Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is official Michael Jai. So I got a lot of stuff going on, including the premiere of the BET, just a regular BET, not BET Plus, but BET Family Business starts today.
Nice.
Yeah, starts tonight. But yeah, you check my official Michael Jai, and I'll have you kind of keen on everything I'm doing.
All right. Michael Jai White, thank you so much for your time, man. It was good seeing you. Shout out to the family. And yeah, I appreciate you for joining me on Black in the Green Room to chop it up a little bit about life, career, and the secret between us.
I appreciate you, man. Good to see you again.
Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you gotta follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.